Do you ever add horror video games to your top cinematic trailers list? Let's take a look at one of the best horror trailers for video games. Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. I'm Carshénah with versefilmsproductions. This week is horror video games. Let's get started. Today's horror video game, The Evil Within and The Evil Within 2. The Evil Within, also known as Psycho Breaku or Psycho Break in Japan, and The Evil Within 2 are both survival horror video games developed by Tango Gameworks and published by Bethesda Softworks. The game was directed by Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil. The Evil Within was released for PC, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. A video game trailer comes with an inherited cinematic quality. The cinematic aspect, in its linear nature, is well suited to the representation of a video game's fictional world and especially its narrative. Trailers originated in the American movie industry in the 1920s, but over the course of the 1990s and early 2000s, however, they were gradually adopted by other entertainment industries like video games, book publishing, and performance arts. Originally, the main purpose of a trailer was to promote and advertise a movie. Early video game advertising was preoccupied with explaining how hardware works, but in the 1990s, video game trailers became a standard marketing tool. Game publishers turned to CG production companies like Digit Pictures, Blur, Plastic Wax, and others to produce incredibly impressive cinematic game trailers to reveal at big shows like E3, the Electronics Entertainment Expo. In collaboration with the developers, they produced cinematic short films stemming from the game's artistic vision without the burden of real-time rendering or functioning game mechanics. Flashy cinematic game trailers look expensive, and I think that's largely the point. The expensive-looking cinematic trailer, which looks like a Hollywood film, communicates production value. It says there's a lot of money behind this game and therefore it's worth your while. CG trailers seem like precisely the thing needed to impress non-gamer executives in business meetings. When you add this equation to a horror game, a fantasy or action game, the possibilities are endless as to what the value of the gameplay is supposed to convey. The majority of all current games now insert short film scenes similar to an intermission to give players a break in the game and learn more about the story, check out the acting skills or voiceover quality before the game resumes. This is why survival video games such as The Evil Within, Resident Evil, and countless others do very well and can be counted as some of the best cinematic trailers on the market. Even if you don't play video games, just looking at the trailer makes you want to pick up a game or check to see if Hollywood would turn the franchise into a full-length horror movie. Plot and gameplay. Detective Sebastian Castellanos and his partners Joseph Oda and Julie Kidman arrive at a crime scene located at the Beacon Memorial Hospital. Having arrived, they find a massacre has taken place inside the hospital, with the place now seemingly deserted. After finding a sole survivor, Sebastian witnesses through the hospital's CCTV fellow KCPD officers running from and firing upon an unseen force. They are then brutally killed by a disfigured supernatural hooded man who then appears behind Sebastian and attacks him, knocking him unconscious. Sebastian then awakes in the basement of the hospital and is forced to flee from a monstrous man wielding a chainsaw. Owing to its graphic nature, the Japanese release of The Evil Within, or Psycho Break, was heavily edited to censor out the various situations or effects deemed overly gruesome to meet 0D requirements, which is a rating of 17+, as opposed to adults only. Those who pre-ordered the game or bought specific copies were provided with a pack called the Fighting Chance Pack, which gives the players some exclusive items, such as the double-barrel shotgun, as well as useful extra items found in the base game. Examples of such censorship are the removal of dismemberment and decapitation effects, such that the haunted no longer blow apart when struck by explosives or headshots, and various corpses are covered up or replaced with generic viscera. However, Japanese players who are 18 and up and have reserved a copy of Psycho Break ahead of time were given a redeemable code that restores the game's original graphic content, which was tentatively named Gore Mode. The game primarily focuses on three key gameplay elements: 1. Survival horror. The player must navigate through the hostile game world with limited resources. This requires the player to use their wits to survive and correctly manage their few resources as they encounter various terrors and dangers throughout the game. 2. Traps and puzzles. The player not only needs to struggle to survive, but also faces dangerous traps and mechanisms. Being careless with traps can cause death. However, the player can also utilize the traps to their own advantage. And 3. Alternating environments. Throughout the game, the environments may change without warning in real time, based on the player's actions, adding more variables to the game. Moving on to The Evil Within Part 2. 3 years after the events at Beacon Mental Hospital, Sebastian Castellanos has left the Crimson City Police Department and continued to be haunted by his experiences at Beacon, the disappearance of his wife Myra and the death of his daughter Lily in a house fire. Sebastian is then approached by former partner and Mobius agent Julie Kidman, who reveals to him that Lily is still alive since Mobius faked her death. However, Mobius now needs Sebastian's help in saving her. Sebastian is brought to a secret Mobius facility where he meets the administrator, who further explains that Lily is being used as the core for a new STEM system to stimulate an idyllic town called Union. However, some time ago, Mobius lost contact with Lily and their agents inside Union, and they no longer have any control over the STEM. Sebastian reluctantly agrees to help Mobius so that he has a chance to save Lily and enter the STEM. The Evil Within 2 received a much more favorable opinion from critics than its predecessor, with praises aimed at its much more balanced ratio between gameplay and narrative. The departure from the first installment's chapter-based storytelling was noted to have been a major improvement. An additional feature of The Evil Within 2 is the ability to play the game in a complete first-person perspective. Originally added to the game engine as a one-time gimmick in Chapter 4, the mode was accessible via a console command and proved popular among players. As a result of this, Tango Gameworks have officially included the option to the game via an update with additional tweaks to weapon animations and stealth kill prompts to address the noted flaws encountered prior to the patch. First-person mode can be toggled on and off in the options menu. Perspective change will take place midway through the first chapter, and the game will occasionally switch to third person during scripted segments, but otherwise the first-person experience will be near seamless. Similar to the first installment of the series, The Evil Within 2 offers an additional content to players who pre-purchased the game prior to its official release, known as the Last Chance Pack. This DLC confers additional items to players starting a new game to give them a leg up in surviving the many horrors of Union. Rumors of an Evil Within 3 for future release, and we can't wait to play it. Ghostwire Tokyo was supposed to be the continuation of the Evil Within franchise as part of the series, but later developed and evolved into its own IP, leaving the Evil Within players to wait yet again for Part 3 to come to fruition. The story developed a little more freely, however, the gameplay doesn't add to the world for which it was intended. Most reviewers find the game to be clunky and rushed, and even though The Evil Within didn't generate the sales it needed to continue right away, causing the game to be paused, Bethesda Games can take their time with developing The Evil Within 3, and gamers alike will be eagerly awaiting for the franchise to complete its horror trilogy. See you at the next one. Take care and have a great scare.